Welcome back. If you have joined us on the previous stream, we do apologise for the technical difficulties, but we're back now as we watch Lewis on a lap of his. He's not on the DRS Open, so he's not going any quicker. Dixon retiring from the session. Statistic also retiring from the session. He's probably going to try and do a different strategy. He's going to go more aggressive, I think, at the start of the race. So into turn one. Thousandths down from before from what he set on the mediums. So yeah, the clouds are looming in now, so I wonder if the rain will be on its way very, very shortly. Perhaps for Q3. Four minutes to go in this second qualifying session. Mikey, otherwise known as SpongeBob on the graphic, is coming into the second sector. And yes, the rain is coming down now, so Mikey needs to get this lap in as soon as he can, fortunately. So he won't like that one bit. He goes 9th. I'm sure he'll be having words with Bruce after that, because that was careless driving that from Fate Scouts. Unfortunately, he backed off 2 marks to start his flying lap. 16.2 by sector 1 for him. So the rain's coming down more and more, so Bruce needs to get this lap in, really. Swinney's out on circuit, as is Terades. It's only a 45.2 by sector 2, so I'm not even sure that Bruce is going to get through here. So he's coming through turn 9 and now 10. Through there, no problem. Rear wing now open, over the line, 1 minute 4.2, goes 9th. That pushes Mikey, or it's a 1 minute 5.2 I should say. That pushes Mikey on the brink. Swinney is now in the drop zone. He's starting the lap now on the medium, so it's now or never here for Swinney. So into sector 1, how's he getting on through here? It's a 16.1. He's up from before, but he needs to be, I would say, in a 1 minute 5.1 to get into Q3. Into sector 2. It's only a 45.3 it is for Swinney, so I don't really think he's doing enough in order to get through. Rear wing open, Swinney over the line, 1 minute 5.2, he just gets in. So Mikey is out of qualifying. He's in the pits and he's not going to have enough time to get out and do a flying lap. The rain is coming down anyway. So Mikey joins Dan and Blue Flag on the sidelines. Swinney gets through by the skin of his teeth. And for your information, the only drivers getting through on the softs, they are Lynx Peace and Ollie. All the others through on mediums. And Swinney's just retiring on circuit by the looks of it. I just hope he gets his place into Q3 because he doesn't want to be crashing out on circuit. I'm not sure whether we'll see him back out again because he's retired on circuit like that. It should be alright, if I'm honest with you. It's just when he crashes out on circuit, that's another thing. So, the 3 drivers we lose at the end of Q2, they are Mikey, Dan and Blue Flag. The others go through into Q3. So there we go. Those in red at the bottom, Mikey, Dan and Blue Flag are out. The top 10 go through to Q3. We'll be back to find out who will be on pole. Welcome back, and we are here for Q3. The rain is coming down, so it's going to be a different session to what we saw in the previous two. And they're going to be so desperate to make sure they all get out there, because if the rain intensifies, these could be the laps which will decide the grid. Dixon, like he did so in Q1, Q2, the first driver out on circuit. He wants that track position. So Dixon heading round. 8 drivers out on circuit. Swinney and Statistic King, the only ones still in the pits. They may decide just to wait for a gap in the traffic before they head out. Dixon starting a lap now. He's exceeded track limits, so he won't be setting the lap time on that occasion. Ollie's next behind. 17.7 by the first sector. He boots the throttle out of turn 4, and Ollie is heading towards turn 6 now. I'm sure he'll be thinking about the next few corners to wrap up the lap. Now he's heading towards turn 9. Now with the curves being so slippery, this could catch a few drivers out. Well, it's certainly not caught Ollie out on this occasion. Cautiously through turn 10, probably turning a bit too early there. 1 minute 12.4 goes to the top. Because quickly displacing him. Lewis now goes top on a 1 minute 12.2 as well by a couple of hundredths. Trades third on a 1 minute 12.2. I'm just looking at the others behind Ricky. Looks like he's on a faster lap than those. And he goes to the top, 1 minute 12.0. It is for him. I think Face Scouser and Lynx are hard lap times invalidated for track limits. Here is Dixon. And now 49.2 by the second sector. And 1 minute 11.1 for Dixon goes to the top. No problem. Ricky, meanwhile, has remarkably kept his car within the track limits there. He's coming into the last couple of corners now. And Ricky will be looking to get onto the front row. Well, he's on the front row at the moment, but he'll want to get closer to Dixon. And he is closer by a couple of tenths. Pace goes at 1 minute 13.0, league pace 1 minute 12.6. They go 7th and 8th. Swinney's out on circuit now. I was just wondering when Statistic King will do the same. And Swinney has started a flying lap now. He's looking to... Yep. Into sector 1, it's a 17.7. So to out, and this lap time is an improvement, and he goes third, 1 minute 11.9, 3/10 faster than last time around. Links in the pits, fake scouts are going on to complete this lap. So 1 minute 12.5 goes up to P7. So he's now ahead as Swinney's crashed out on circuit, unfortunately. So that is his qualifying session done. He'll start no higher than 9th on the grid. You can see he's just dropped it there. Front suspension wreck. And Ricky coming through sector 1, nearly a 10th up from before. So he's looking very good for an improvement. And Fate Scouser, he's backing off the pace by the looks of it, so I don't think we're going to be seeing an improvement from him on this lap. Ricky is looking to improve. I think with the track as it is very much the sort of optimum window for intermediate tyres to be used on this track, and Ricky's making good use of that so far on this lap. Coming up behind Face Gauser, gets past him. Bruce stays out of the way. Ricky coming into the last turn. DRS is disabled because of the conditions, remember. 1 minute 11.5 for Ricky. Is now just over 3/10 away from pole. Found a lot of time in the last sector. Big balls, Dixon. Less than 5 minutes to go in Q3. Who is going to be on pole position for the Austrian Grand Prix in Tier 1 in the Formula Racing League? Big balls 6/10 up by sector 2. He's into the last turn now. Big Wells, can he get himself onto the front row here with this lap? The answer to that question is no. It's a 1 minute 11.6, and he's a 10th away from Ricky in second, and over 4/10 away from Dixon, who's provisionally fastest and on course for pole. Ollie, who's a 10th down by sector 1. No improvement from him. Big Wells looking to improve on his third position. Now, is he finding enough time on the intermediates? So he's just backing off, I think, Statistic King. Well, it's Lewis actually who's out on circuit. I wonder if Statistic King may be serving a qualifying 3 ban, or he's just simply not going out on circuit at all. So Big Balls coming through. 1 minute 11.5. It is an improvement, but not enough to get him onto the front row. Lings on a lap. Ollie not on the lap. His lap time's been invalidated. And it's the same with Terades, not improving. Dixon is on an improvement in the Williams through sector 1. By sector 2, continues to improve. 400s up by the stage. And now can he finish off the lap in style? And strengthen his grip on pole. One minute 11.0. Dixon bridges his gap even further over the rest. Statistic coming out on circuit now. He's only going to have time for one lap, I think. There's Fake Scouser, who's on a lap. Link's Piece only 7th on a 1 minute 12.3. Lewis aiming to improve. He was running in the top 3 earlier, but he's dropped back. And is he on an improvement on this lap here? The answer is yes, but not a big improvement. So, look to see where Lewis ends up on this occasion. So over the line comes Lewis. It's a 1 minute 12.1. Stays 6th fastest. Link's not on an improvement, so we'll come away from him. Ricky aiming to improve on his time. That was another glitch in case you were wondering. These 400s down by sector 1 from before. So Ricky will be looking to go faster than before. Big Ball's off the track. Coming into turn 7. There's Terades, who is looking to improve on his 1 minute 11.9, but he's not going to do it on this occasion, I don't think. He's way down, so he stays 4th with that. Ricky aiming for an improvement. He's got time to do another lap. This lap of his not good enough to see him get closer to Dixon, so he remains where he is. Lewis does not improve either. Big Ball's looking to improve, although he's backed off the pace actually, so he won't be going to pole position. No higher than 3rd on the grid it'll be for him. And Statisticking is coming through now. Just seen Lewis go off the track. Statisticking coming through over the line. It's only 1 minute 13.2. Goes 9th. So, just looking to see who is on in lap. Well, Bruce is most certainly not. Lewis is not. Ollie is. Terades is not, because he's ripped off his front wing. Ricky is on a lap. How is Ollie getting on by sector 2? It's not a very good time actually. I think he's backed off the pace. So Ricky has also exceeded track limits. So that brings qualifying to an end, and it's Dixon who is on pole for Williams here in Austria. That's 1 championship point to his name. Ricky will join him on the front row with Big Balls in 3rd place, the championship leader, alongside Terades. Ollie and Lewis are next behind, followed by Lynx and Fake Scouser. Statisticking will be 9th ahead of Swinney, who couldn't get a lap time on the board in the McLaren. So we just wait for this qualifying session to end, and then the race will begin shortly. You can see how heavy the rain is coming down now. Almost to the point where full wets would be needed. So at the end of Q3, Dixon's on pole by 0.4 of a second over Ricky. Then it's Big Balls in third. Terade's fourth. Good qualifying from him ahead of Ollie and Lewis. Lynx and Fate Scouser are on the fourth row with Ziz King and Swinney running out the top 10. Qualifying is over. Now we go on to the race. Who will reign supreme here at the Styrian Mountains? The sun is shining all around the circuit here at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg in Austria. We're ready for the start of this race. Now, 8 of those in the top 10 will begin on the mediums. We'll run down on the grid on who is starting on what. And just on a quick rundown on the calendar before the remaining races. Today is Austria. Next week we go to Spa in Belgium. Abu Dhabi on the 25th. Bahrain for the penultimate round on the 1st of February. And then the season finale will be at the brand new Jeddah Corniche circuit in Saudi Arabia on the 8th. So the formation lap is underway. Dixon lines up on pole, ahead of Ricky alongside Big Balls, and Therese are on row 2. Ollie and Lewis next behind on row 3, ahead of Lynx and Fake Scouser. Ziz King and Swinney round out the top 10. Then we've got Mikey and Dan on row 6, followed by Blue Flag and Maxi. Pimis and Jacko are next behind, with Colours Killer and Jack Berry on the 9th row. At the back of the grid are Wild Dog and Jack DNF. So to find out who is starting on what in regards to the tyres. So there we are. So the only drivers starting on the softs are Ollie, Lynx and Dan. All the others are on the mediums. We are expecting a one-stop race. So we could see a mixture of drivers ducking into the pits for either hards if they cannot make the medium tyres last, or should those conserve life on the mediums, could make the switch to softs for the final dozen laps of this race. But then again, if we get a safety car, that will throw race strategies out of the window, and of course that's when plans B, C, D and Co would come in. We can see Dixon making his way back onto the grid now for the start of this race. Can he claw back more of that margin that he has lost over his arch rival Kevin, otherwise known as Big Balls, in the Ferrari? Kevin starting third on the grid behind Ricky. Ricky could do with a really good haul of points here tonight. He's had a season to forget so far, with only 23 points to his name from 8 races, or after 8 rounds. So who will get off the line the best here when those 5 red lights go out? So it's an important race in the championship. Dixon on pole. Will he lead the field into turn 1? Out and away we go. Dixon gets off to a very good start. Big Boss even better. He's alongside Ricky as they come into the Niki Lauda curve. Kevin through into second place. Dixon stays in front ahead of his arch rival in second position. And we've got Ricky and Therese in third and fourth. Lewis ahead of the Aston Martin of Ollie, followed by Lynx. Swinney up a couple of places in the McLaren ahead of Mikey, and Fake Scouser running out the top 10. Dixon through Remus on changed in terms of his race position. Kevin next behind in second. We've got Ricky Therese next in the Alpine. And we've got Ollie into the slipstream of Lewis. They're about to go side by side almost. They head down towards turn 4. Ollie keeps hold of 6th place as we watch Mikey dive into the inside of Links. But Mikey spins around in the Mercedes. He goes to the back, unfortunately. Disaster for Mikey, who has had a brilliant race last week in Hungary. Has been crashed back down to earth here in Austria. So Dixon leading the field through the Jochen curve towards the end of the first lap. He's done everything right so far. In terms of what happens with Big Balls is out of his control, really. Now his next task is to bridge out that 1 second margin. We've just seen Licks come into the pits, actually, for Haas. I would presume he's got front wing damage at the end of that. Otherwise, he wouldn't have pitted so early. You can see a new front wing is ready. So that'll be him going on to the mediums or the hards straight away. It's a set of the mediums, so he'll be going on a more aggressive strategy as we watch Ollie fight it out with Lewis. Can't get through. Dunn getting through past Swinney. So Dunn making up a good number of positions. He was 12th on the grid. And he's found his way up into 7th place already ahead of his teammate. And Pimis up to 12th. Fake Scouser down to 13th place. He's not had a good lap or so. And there's a move there from what looks like Jack DNF. Oh, a contact! Fake Scouser running into the back of the Williams at turn 6. Fake Scouser's front wing's gone. And that'll be him off to the pit lane prematurely. He stays out of everyone's way. But after a decent qualifying session, Bruce has thrown it all away. We're now on to lap 3. And the DRS is now enabled. Dixon has breached out that 1 second margin. Ricky is now within a second of Big Boss, so he'll be able to use the DRS on the exit of turn 1. Rear wing open look as he approaches the Ferrari. He won't have a go into turn 3, but he'll most certainly get closer. There's another DRS zone coming up after this turn before they go to turn 4, so Ricky may have a chance to make a move on the Ferrari and pull away. So here he comes up. Ricky not close enough to have a go. Lewis thinking about a move, but he's got to watch the Aston Martin as well. Dan going to the outside of Ollie. Is there going to be a change of position there? Dan running wide there, can't make his way through. But this is good racing nevertheless. As there's Bowie in 15th place, taking it easy out there. Not sure how many points he's going to be aiming for today. But he's had one of his worst qualifying sessions of the season, if not the worst. And so Ricky, behind Big Balls, using his DRS on the pit straight. 3 DRS zones on this track. 1 on the pit straight, 1 in the exit of turns 1 and all the way up to 3. And then 1 before turn 4. Here we go. Look, Ricky getting past the Ferrari of Big Balls on the inside into Remus. Is this a change of position? There's a bit of contact, but Ricky has found his way through and he's got the DRS on the exit. So Ricky back into 2nd place ahead of Big Balls. That's good news for Dixon in regards to the championship. And whilst that was going on, we just seen Dan go for a spin on the exit of turn 1 in the McLaren, and he's fallen down to 17th place. So that hard work of his in the opening few laps has all come to nothing. Maxi up to 8th place as well. He's had a good start actually in the Alpine, so hopefully we'll see more of that in the coming laps. He's behind Swinney though, look, and I think he's alongside. He's got through ahead of the McLaren, so Swinney running wide there, and that's allowed Blue Flag to get through as well. So Swinney having a nightmare of a lap because Carlos Killer has got through. Has he got damage? Yes, there it is. So that explains why Swinney has dropped back so much. He's got front wing damage, so he'll be off into the pit lane. So a disastrous lap there for McLaren, and Jack is out on the exit of the last turn, and I think that's going to be out the safety car, and it is. So there'll be plenty of pit lane activity now. That's come to Swinney's rescue. The safety car is on circuit. Ollie's made contact with Therese, so he's got a 5-second time penalty, and I think Pimis has been given the same punishment for the same infringement. I think it's a 3-second time penalty. That'll be for track limits. But Jack is the first retirement, and that's good news for Fake Scouser, who'll be able to catch up to the back of the field. Now, if you're Ollie, you think, great, I'm on the softs, I can get onto either the mediums or the hards now. Whereas those on the mediums, some may decide to go onto the hards, or they may get a set of the soft compound tyres on or maybe even mediums, depending on what they decide to do. It's probably too early to think about going for a pit stop if you're on the mediums, but let's wait and see. So Dixon heading towards the Ockenren curve. He does not pit in. Ricky, does he pit in? No, he doesn't. Big Balls does not pit. Lewis does not pit. Therese does not pit. Ollie does though, which is no surprise because he's on the soft compound. So he's got that 5-second time penalty as well, don't forget, so he'll need to take that as pit stop, which he will do. Berry also in the pits for Haas. And Dan also in the softs as well, he was. So into the pits. So Berry and Dan in the pits. We see Jacko go past Ollie now. So Jacko up to 13th place. And you can see Swinney and Links trying to catch up. And Berry gets out ahead of the pair of them. So Dan rejoins ahead of Fake Scouser. He'll be able to catch up to these guys now. So Jack out of the race yet again. Unfortunately, he's had a frustrating season so far. His qualifying has been good at times, but when it comes to the race, it's just been too inconsistent. So the safety car has picked up the leader. It'll go around for one more lap whilst we wait for the rest of the field to catch up. And considering that it's another lap done, will any of the drivers decide to pit in at the end of this lap? I think because the field's come together now, I can't think that it's just seen someone go through the polystyrene blocks. That might have been Lewis actually. We won't want to be doing that, as that could cause damage to the front wing. So Ollie and Fate Scouts have caught up. So we are now on lap 7 out of 36. Dixon in the lead, still ahead of Ricky. He was around about 1.5 seconds ahead of him before the safety car was deployed, so it's not too much of a loss for Dixon, but he will need to breach out that 1 second margin to get out of DRS range from those behind, of which he'll have 2 laps to do once the safety car does come back in. So Pimis is the only driver with a time penalty at the moment. That'll be for track limits. So in regards to penalties, it's not too bad. Dan's gone onto the set of hard compound tyres now, so we expect him to go to the end of the race. Those have just come in for mediums may want to think about coming in again for another pit stop towards the end. The safety car is coming in at the end of this lap, so race control have confirmed that the Mercedes car of the safety car it's a Mercedes rather than an Aston Martin. Some circuits on this game have the Mercedes, others have the Aston Martin. So Dixon backs up the field. He'll go when he's ready to do so. How long will he leave it though? The safety car is in the pit lane now, so it should be a good time for Dixon to pull away. He's gone early, so that's a good restart from Dixon, providing he gets through the last couple of turns without any issues. And he's got a good gap. He's got a good gap over Ricky. And we're back on the way here at the Red Bull Ring. So Dixon leads ahead of the AlphaTauri. Big Balls will want to get in front here, but will also need to watch for Lewis behind. We go on board with Big Balls as he looks to fend off Lewis and get in front of Ricky. There's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart. It was a slide. I'm just seeing if there's anything else happening behind towards the back, I would say, because Swinney's just got in front of Berry for 15th place. Lynx and Dan will want to get in there as well. Fate Scouser likewise. And Dixon heading through the second sector. 1.6 seconds clear already. Very important for him. He really is on form here today. And Wild Dog the next to be penalised for track limits, unfortunately. And Dixon with the fastest lap. There's a championship point on offer for the driver within the top 10, getting the fastest lap. No, there's 40 points on offer for a race win in the Formula Racing League. The top 15 finishers score points as well. 40 for the race win, 32 for second, 26 for third, 20 for fourth, right the way down to 15th place, who would get 1 point. Dan's just been, it's Lynx has just been penalised for track limits, unfortunately, so you'll have to live with that for the remainder of the race. You'll have to make up the time from somewhere. So Big Ball's not able to get through on Ricky. He is losing time. Ricky will want to pull away as soon as he can before the DRS is enabled, which will be at the end of his lap. Now blue flag has got through and Maxi's dropped back as he had a spin. He has. On the exit of turn 8, the car's ghosted, so no other drivers will run into him. And now the DRS is enabled. Ollie with a time penalty for track limits. He's the next recipient. As Big Balls approaches the AlphaTauri once again as they head towards turn 3. And now the rear wing will open again for Big Balls. Goes to the outside. Is he through on this occasion? Yes, he is, I think. Although Ricky is still going side by side with him through 5, but I think Big Balls will have the high ground into 6. But Ricky fights back. So that's fair play that from Ricky. He's able to get through. Don't think Big Balls is going to fight it through 7. Been far too risky if he did it there. Fake Scouse has gone for a spin on the exit turn 4. It's been a day to forget for him. Now Ricky and Big Balls do battle once again, and all of this is helping Dixon move further away from these guys. Big Balls now with the DRS, he's surely going to pull through. Wild Dog's gone for a moment somewhere. And we've just seen Lewis lose the position to Terades, and he's got through. Dan off the track at turn 9. He's got front wing damage to his car. I think we're going to see him in the garage, to be honest with you. And Big Balls is through now on Ricky. So does Ricky fight back though on the exit? He's got the DRS this time, but is he able to get through? Fate Scouts are also in the pits. Does he decide to carry on? We'll find out in a moment. He may as well. It's still quite early on in the race, and if we get a safety car, he can get himself back into it. Lewis in 4th place, back through onto Rays. These two have been fighting during the course of this safety car restart. Blue Flag getting in there as well. He's had a good race actually, this Blue Flag, since his mishap in qualifying. And Lewis now with a time penalty for track limits, unfortunately. He may rue that later on. Ricky in 3rd position behind Big Balls. Oh, that's someone off the track. Can't quite tell that. That's now for Romeo. And that's Pimis. Off into the barrier. Front wing gone. And the virtual safety car has been deployed. The Wild Dog's in the pits for a new front wing, so he'll be losing less time. And Face Scouser needs to be careful. He does not exceed the delta, which he must adhere to. And it's the same for everyone. If they exceed the delta, they'll receive a drive-through penalty. So it's another race to forget so far for Pimis. He's had pretty much a lacklustre season. We're back on the way now. DRS enabled again. And I think with the timing of the safety car and the virtual safety car, Dixon will be able to go longer on his mediums. Swinney with a time penalty, unfortunately, so he'll have to live with that for the remainder of this one. He's running in the 11th position behind Ollie. We've just seen Dan get through on Fate Scouser. Pimis in the pits for a new front wing. And Fake Scouser off the track. He's done that twice now, unfortunately, so may decide to just duck into the pits and retire. And Terades thinks about a move on Lewis. Does he go for it into turn 4? The answer is no. Ollie through on Statistic King, no problem. Swinney will be looking to get through as well on the Red Bull. And he does so just. So Swinney through into 9th place, down with a new fastest lap with a 1 minute 6.0. And Fake Scouser into the pits. And I think this is going to be him calling it a day. There's a penalty for speed in the pit lane. That's just a sign of frustration from him. And he's out. So Fake Scouser becomes the second driver to pull out of this race. We're on lap 14. As Rich is the Ferrari. He's got the DRS right now. Big Balls. Looking in his mirrors. Lewis trying to fend off from Terades. Mikey through on Carlos Killer by the looks of it. Although he's got a really tardy exit. And Pimis has retired on circuit. And the safety car, has it been deployed again? It has. So the safety car is out yet again. Ollie. Oh, that's an incident. And Carlos Killer has run into the Alpine. Oh, is that a glitch? No, it's not a glitch. Carlos Killer's race is over. All sorts of confusion going on there. I think Ollie was trying to duck out of the way of Mikey in front or something. Or it might have been Terades. And Carlos Killer has been taken out. He will be furious with that. I'm just trying to watch what's actually happened. Ah, Ollie's turned in on him. Ollie's turned in on his teammate. Yeah. So that's not Terades' fault. That's Ollie not looking where he was going. Didn't watch his mirrors. And so Carlos Killer's race has come to an end, which is a big shame for him. He could have got a good haul of points. He had a good time last week in Hungary, but it's not been a good one this time around tonight. I've just seen Dixon come into the pits, and I've just seen he's lost the lead to Ricky. So Ricky's now in front of Dixon. Big Boss is in front of as well, because some of which had to wait behind for others to be let through. So Big Boss is now into the lead effectively. But the driver who's now in the lead on the road is Mikey. In second place is Ollie now. So we're on lap 15 now. Other drivers who pitted in were also Lewis, Lynx, Maxi, Wild Dog, who's also been in, and Dan in for another set of tyres. They'll be able to catch up to the back of the field. So 4 drivers out then. Carlos Killer out after contact with his teammate under the safety car. We've also lost Pimis. We've also lost Face Scouser and Jack. Well, Ollie's got that penalty hanging over him now. And Lewis in the pits again. What's going on here? And Terades is also in. Well, Lewis has only just been in a moment ago. Has he got front wing damage? No, he's not. He's just going on to another set of the soft compound. He was towards the back of the field anyway. Terades also in for another set of the soft compounds. So Mikey, one of 4 drivers yet to pit in this race. Statistic King, Blue Flag and Jacko are the others. Seen a few drivers losing connection at the moment. I've just seen Jack Burry lose connection. And the safety car is now in this lap. So, Burry's in 6th place at the moment. I just hope he gets back in time before the race restarts. So Mikey will dictate the pace and he'll go when he's ready to do so. Should get a good restart here, to be honest with you. Here we go then. Mikey leads on the restart and he's got a good one as well. Dixon with a time penalty now for track limits. Swinney through past Ollie into 2nd place. Although did he get past a little bit too soon? If he has, he's backed off the pace. And he's through now legally. So Swinney into 2nd place. Is he going to go to the end of the race on the mediums? Because I would imagine those who pit in for softs later on are going to have such a huge advantage in terms of grit. It could get them closer to the rest of the pack. Very dropping back all the time because these cars are controlled by the AI. So that's a big shame for him. He was running in 6th place before he lost connection. Well, Mikey is in the clear now. And I think Big Balls is going to get in on the act here and get past some of these guys. Although he knows that Dixon is in 9th place behind him now. He does not need to be taking any risks here, Big Balls. He makes slight contact with blue flag. And there's Dixon. So Dixon's through. Oh, that's Dixon trying to get through on Jacko. I thought it was Big Balls for a moment there, but no, it's the other Ferrari of Jacko that Dixon's going by, and he's through into 8th place. So Dixon on a charge at the moment now. Someone's gone off in sector 3. That is Dan in the McLaren. No one else is involved, but he's now continued anyway. Max is through into 9th place past the Ferrari. Ricky trying to get through on Big Balls as they come up towards turn 3 now. Does he go for the move on the inside? Not quite there, but he may get the grip on the exit and good traction. Dan off at turn 1, but it's continued gain. Now, can Ricky get through on the inside of Big Balls? The answer to that question is no. Big Balls on the inside of blue flag. Is he through? I think he is. So Big Balls through into 5th place in the Ferrari. Now, what does Ricky decide to do, or what does Blue Flag decide to do even, because he's ahead of his teammate? He knows that Ricky is on a different strategy to him. So if I was Blue Flag, I would consider moving out of the way. Big Balls behind Statistic King as they come through the last turn. TRS now enabled. Big Balls through, past Statistic King into 4th position. He's picking them off one by one now. And Ricky trying to get through on his teammate, which he does so by the looks of it. Trying to use all the road and then some to get alongside. Statistic King trying to get back through on Big Balls. The two make contact. Statistic King will have the DRS on the exit, I think. So we could see Statistic King back through on this occasion. And he is through. So Big Balls having to really fight it here. They're still going side by side. Ricky's through into 6th place now. Dixon also passed Blue Flag, who's dropping back like a stone now because he's almost out of the top 10. Dixon making slight contact with Ricky there as they come through turn 7 and 8. Ricky will want to make a move on Statistic King here as they come through turn 9 now. Ricky through into 5th place. Dixon taking advantage of the open door. He gets through as well. So Dixon past the Red Bull, and now he's behind Ricky, of which Dixon's going to have the DRS on the pit straight. Is he going to get through on this occasion? Probably not into turn 1, but maybe so into turn 3. Maxi with a time penalty for track limits. Jacko in the pits for his first stop of the race, as we watch Dixon make a move on Ricky for 5th position. This is an important one for Dixon. He needs to get through so they can go after Big Balls. He's behind Swinney and Ollie. Swinney on the outside as they come down towards turn 4. Ollie gets his elbows out. Swinney won't like that. Big Balls waiting to pounce as well in the Ferrari. He's on the outside. Does he get through into turn 6 for 3rd position? The answer is no. Swinney forces Big Balls out wide and Dixon's right on his tail. So Dixon on a charge, waiting for a chance to get through on Big Balls for 4th place. This is an important one for Dixon. He needs to finish in front of Big Balls to realistically keep his championship hopes alive. But he needs to time it. If he gets it wrong, that's pretty much it. Fastest up of the race goes to Dixon. Ollie with another penalty for track limit, so his race has gone from bad to worse. He could fall down the order. He could even fall out of the top 10 if he's unlucky. Oh, there was a bit of contact there between Big Balls and Dixon. That was very nearly both of them off the racetrack. Big Balls trying to get through, and so look at that. Dixon could get through on the pair of them on the exit of turn 3. Would you look at that? Dixon passed Big Balls and Swinney into third place. That was a sensational move from the Williams driver. He is fighting to stay in the hunt for the championship. What a brilliant move. If he wins the championship later on this season, well, looking back on this race, that was a superlative manoeuvre from Dixon. And now, if he can get past Ollie, they'll give him a bit of a buffer over Big Balls later on in the race. There he is, look, on the outside of the Aston Martin. Can he get through on this occasion? The answer is yes. So Dixon dispatches the Aston Martins. Mikey's in the pit, so Dixon back into the lead of the race as we start lap 22. So Mikey in for the soft compound. Now what does Big Boss decide to do now? Because Ollie will want to get back through on Dixon. Look at that. Ollie trying to fight back. You can see Dixon was trying to conserve his battery. Did he get the DRS on the exit? We'll find out in a moment as they come through. It's Ollie who has the DRS, I think. It may be neck and neck, but Ollie on the inside. Is he back through on this occasion? The answer is no. Dixon still hanging in there. But I just think that Ollie could be on the better tyres at this stage now than the Williams is. And the Ferrari as well. There's no way Ollie will win this race. I'm just looking at Dixon because Dixon has that penalty hanging over him. And should Big Balls stay within 3 seconds of him, then it'll be Big Balls taking the victory here in Austria, which would see him extend his lead in the championship. So we are now on lap 23. We've just seen Ricky go for a move on Swinney. Someone's gone off in sector 3. That'll be Dan, I think, who's made an error. Statisticking in the pits as is blue flag. So both of them making their first stops of the race. So everyone's now pitted. As Big Balls thinks about a move on the inside of Ollie, which he does so, but did he get the DRS on the exit? The answer to that question is no, he didn't. Ollie has the DRS. Side by side as they come down towards turn 4. Well, there's a bit of contact. That's Maxi. Maxi getting in on the inside of Ollie. He is through. Ooh, keep it steady, boys. You don't want to be coming together. Oh, they have come together. Maxi and Ollie have come together. Oh, that was bound to happen at some point. And the pair of them have paid a price. Ricky's through into third place. But I have to say, that was a bit naughty from Ollie. He should have left Maxi a little bit more room. Although Maxi may decide to disagree. Either way, it's dropped them down the order. Ollie in the pits. He's got a huge penalty hanging over him anyway. Swinging through into 4th place now in the McLaren. But I just think he may be on the better tyres than the top 3 are. He will be towards the end of the race. As Mikey takes the fast lap point away from Dixon. Mikey on fresh softs at the present moment. He's coming back nicely actually. The only problem he's going to have is how is he going to cope with the traffic. And Barry in the pits again for Haas as well, so he's not had a good race tonight, unfortunately. Link's up in 6th place, doing very well on the mediums. On mediums that are like 8-9 laps old. He's got the Red Bull of Lewis all over the back of his gearbox. But Lynx is able to hold him off on this occasion. Someone's gone up in sector 2. Is that Therese off? It is. So Alpine's race goes from bad to worse. I'll just look to see what else is happening further behind as Lewis approaches the rear of Lynx. He'll have the DRS. Swinney's in the pits now. He wants a new set of soft compound tyres. So the softs go on for him. And he'll be out on his way again. Mikey will go through. Trades off again at turn 8. I think we'll see him in the pits shortly. And statistically with a new fastest lap. So Lynx on a charge right now. He's got that penalty hanging over in 6 seconds it is. And as we watch Lewis die to the inside with DRS, he got the job done before the corner. That was very nearly contact actually, but he left Lynx enough room, and Lewis is through into 5th place on the road. So Terrade's in the pits for another set of tyres. Softs going on. I wonder if he got damage to his front wing whilst he had his moment on circuit. He's back out now in last place. And Mikey with a new fastest lap in the Mercedes. .3 seconds is the gap between Wild Dog and Mikey. Mikey is on the better tyres than Wild Dog is. So Lynx back through on Lewis. They come onto the pit straight. 2 seconds is the gap between Big Balls and Dixon. So as it stands, Big Balls will be taking the victory. But the top 3 are going to be on old softs. Whereas if you look at Lynx, who's on the mediums, Mikey especially as well, he's got past Wild Dog now. And Lynx on the inside of Lewis as they come towards turn 3. Lynx goes in a bit too deep. And Lewis is able to get back through and then in the game. Ooh, that was very nearly both of them into the wall. Mikey continuing to close in on those two. He's got a penalty of 3 seconds hanging over him. He could be on course for a 4th place finish here, is Mikey, if he keeps this up. Lynx behind Lewis as they look to start the 28th lap. 9 to go. It's looking very, very good so far. As Dan comes in for another pit stop. Allow his teammate to carry on. And Swinney, not quite posting the fastest lap of the race, but it's a decent lap he's just put in. And Lynx still fighting with the Red Bull of Lewis as they come towards turn 3. And the more they battle, the closer Micah will get to them. So can Lynx get through on Lewis? So Dan rejoins on an old set of softs. So he's run out of softs, has Dan, by the looks of things. Mikey behind Lynx, and that's Big Balls! So Big Balls from 2nd place has spun on the exit of the 1st turn. He's lost positions to Ricky and Maxi, and now he's falling back. Oh, and that's naughty that from Big Balls. He forced Lewis off the track as well. That may be investigated by the stewards for an unsafe return to the circuit. So Big Balls down to 7th place behind Lewis as Mikey's going to 5th place on the road as well. Twist in the title race. Ricky is now into 2nd place on track. He's not close enough to take the victory though from Dixon, unless Dixon gets another penalty. Blue flag in the pits for AlphaTauri. He'll go on to another set of the soft compounds, and he'll go down a lap now on the leader. So Ricky gets a lap on his teammate, and Max is through into third place on track, and he's definitely on course to get that. Mikey through past Lynx for fourth place now, with 7 laps remaining. Can he keep hold of it though? Well, Lynx won't have as much grip, but he'll have the straight line speed. Lynx trying to fight back on the inside. Mikey leaves the door open. Lynx runs wide. Mikey will have the DRS, I think, on the exit. In fact, no, it's Lynx who has the DRS on the exit. And just seeing that Big Boss is dropping back like a stone now. He's on those old softs. They've gone about 15 laps long. And still got 7 laps to go, including this one. So Big Boss is going to struggle between now and the end of the race unless he decides to pit in, which will drop him back even further. Mikey through past Lynx for 4th place. He should pull away now. So Mikey coming through the last turn. So Ollie with another time penalty now. 15 seconds worth he's on. So he could fall down a few more positions by the race end. Swinney past Wild Dog for 8th place. Next one ahead of him is Big Balls. So Big Balls will be looking at his mirrors here very shortly. And Mikey approaching the rear of Max's Alpine. And Maxi has just picked up another time penalty, so that's 6 seconds for him. As it stands, Mikey will be going to the podium. He's had another good race today, has Mikey, as Blue Flag sets a new fastest lap. He may try and get back on the lead lap. He's on much better tyres than the leaders are, so I don't see why not. In fact, I think he's already got past his teammate, and now he's approaching the leader again. So we could see Blue Flag unlapping himself from the race leader. And Mikey not able to use the DRS on this occasion behind Maxi, so Maxi will stay ahead for now. And someone's off in sector 2, and that's Wild Dog this time. Front wing gone on the Mercedes. And that'll be him into the pits for a new nose cone. Dan getting through on Jacko. Well, they're going side by side anyway. A bit of contact between the pair. Jacko stays ahead. Dan not giving up on this occasion. And Dan able to complete the switchback and go through. And now Mikey on the tail of Maxi. Can he get good drive coming out of turn 1? He can. Rear wing open. And Jacko's out of the race in the Ferrari. And the safety car's been deployed. Would you believe it? So we're going to be in for a 2-lap shootout to the end of this race. Now what does Dixon decide to do here? He's gone off the track to let Blue Flag go through. He does not want to be fighting with him. Now, if you're Dixon, what do you do? This is bad news for him because he has a time penalty. Ricky does not. So Jacko becomes the 5th retirement of this race. Wild Dog into the pits. I think Dixon's committing himself to it now. I think he's going to have to. Ricky stays out. Is there anyone else that's coming in? Well, Big Balls is most certainly coming in. And I don't blame him. He's fighting for the championship after all. He's into the pits now. He'll fall behind Statistic King. He'll fall behind Ollie, I think. He's got a new front wing coming his way, actually, so Big Boss is going to lose a little bit more time. Now, what does Bowie decide to do? He decides to carry on. He should get out in front of Bowie, I believe. So Big Boss rejoins in 9th place. And so the safety car should be coming in at the end of this lap. And there we go, look. So we are going to be in for a 2-lap shootout. And Big Boss is quite a bit behind, actually. He's coming into turn 4 now. So here we go, look. There are the penalties. So the race result is going to look a lot different, I would think, to what's currently on screen now. The safety car in the pit lane. Dixon is going to pull away from these guys on the restart. But he's not gone yet. But he has now. Here we go then. 2 laps remaining of this race. Who is going to win here in Austria? Big Boss on the inside. Has he got through? Oh, he spun! Big Boss goes for a spin yet again on the exit of turn 1! That's a bad blow for Big Boss. He has spun, was trying to pass cars on less grippy tyres. Mikey on the outside of Maxi into 3rd place. What about Ricky behind Dixon? He's not got through on him yet, but he does not need to pass him on circuit. He just needs to stay within 3 seconds of him. So Big Boss has lost a lot of time battling for position into turn 1 with other drivers. Lewis on the inside of Lynx. Does he get through on this occasion for 5th place on track? No, he doesn't. He needs to watch for Statistic King and Swinney, who are also fighting. Swinney on the outside of Statistic King. He gets through. No problem. Can he get through on Lewis? He can. Dixon now on his final lap of this race. Mikey behind Ricky though. There's no DRS, remember, so it's now or never for Mikey. As Dan posts a new fastest lap in the McLaren. Big Boss will be looking to take that away for the sake of the championship. And with the time penalty of those ahead of him, he'll move up a few positions, but he'll still lose ground to Dixon in the championship. Or see some of his gap over Dixon come back down, I should say. Mikey not able to get through on Ricky. There's Maxi on the inside of Lynx. Swinney looking to get through as well. He does so. Maxi will need to watch the McLaren. Swinney still continues going on the outside. Does Maxi leave him enough room? He does so just about. Swinney gets through. Nicely done. We'll go back to Dixon. He's coming through the last couple of turns. He's not going to win the race. He's most certainly going to finish second. So it's Ricky who's going to win the Austrian Grand Prix for AlphaTauri. He has done it. After a dismal start to the season, Ricky has put one right here at the Rebel Ring. Dixon drops to second with the time penalty applied. Big Balls has finished in 5th place for Ferrari. So he has lost some of the margin he has built up in the championship race. Mikey on the podium for Mercedes in 3rd, Statistic King 4th for Red Bull, Swinney 6th for McLaren, Maxi in 7th, Bowie 8th, Lewis 9th and Lynx in 10th place. Incredible last couple of laps. Big Balls has lost the chance of going for the victory, or he had lost the chance of going for the victory by spinning at turn 1 and doing so on 2 separate occasions. So there we are. There's your podium. Ricky on top here at the Red Bull Ring. He very much needed that. He's had a lot of tough races. So here's your race result then. Ricky wins ahead of Dixon and Mikey, finishing second and third. Statistic King fourth, he'll be very happy with that in the Red Bull. Big Ball's fifth, Swinny sixth, Maxi seventh, Berry eighth, Lewis ninth, and Lynx in 10th place. Dan, outside the points in 11th, had a Wild Dog and Terades. Ollie, despite setting the fastest lap of the race, comes home 14th. He does not get the point for the fastest lap, but he does pick up a couple of points nevertheless. Blue Flag, the last of the finishers, in 15th place. Jacko retired, as did Carlos Killer, Pimis, Fake Scouser, and Jack also not finishing. So in regards to the championship, Dixon collects 33 points from the Red Bull Ring. Big Balls, by finishing 5th, picks up only 18. If I've got my maths right. So the championship gap has come down by 15 points. So the gap at the top is now 40 points with 4 races to go between the top 2. All that remains for me to say, thank you very much for joining us. That was a good last couple of laps especially, and we hope to see more of that at Spa in a week's time. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and we'll do it all over again next week. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the Formula Racing League returns.